All right, everybody, we're back. We're going to do a couple of things tonight. We're obviously going to start off with doing our Antman review. In this review, we're definitely going to have spoilers, but you'll know beforehand. So those of you who have not seen the movie and eventually are going to see the movie will have time to, stop the movie, pause it. Stop the video, pause it, go off, whatever you know. We're just going to hit on a couple of quick topics. This ain't going to be like an all-day affair. We're going to go ahead and let Bradley lead us off.
First and foremost, I can go ahead and say that I missed probably a good 15 minutes of the movie. Happened to get sick. I had sugar problems, and from what I understand, didn't come back to missing really anything. I just missed obligatory car chase scene. Overall, I didn't like the movie. Like, I didn't hate it, but I didn't expect to love it. And I think we just come off of two giant hits with Black Panther and Antman. Right before the previous couple of years, we've had Guardians 2, we've had Spider-Man, we've had Ragnarok. So they set their own bar high to where this literally felt like Iron Man 2. It felt like a filler movie to get us to the next big thing. Paul Rudd, I really feel like they underutilized in this film. Like where he's comedy, his screw-up nature felt natural in the first movie. This one, it felt like they just literally, the Iron Man 2 thing I have told y'all guys, like, they brought Tony down to build Black Widow up in that movie, and this one, it was really to bring him down even more and put more focus on Wasp, because, Evangeline Lilly was a badass in this movie. I'm not going to deny that at all. And I think it was more really to push her character. That's probably my main complaint with the movie. We could probably discuss spoilers now. We're going to do it in the video because there's only one real spoiler in the movie. There's nothing really that's going to ruin anything in the MCU in this movie. If you miss out on it, it's not going to explain anything. But I would put it probably outside my top 10 out of the 19, 20 films we have so far.
I think there's 18. I think
yeah, it's somewhere like that. It's outside my top 10.
Okay, well, we'll save the actual letter grades for the end of the video. To me, it should have just been called the Michael Pena Wasp movie. They are the ones that stole the show. Paul Rudd went from a likable idiot to a complete bumbling idiot in this movie. His character, you get really no more character development on it than you got in the first movie. Am I wrong?
Oh, they developed it just in the wrong direction.
Yeah, I thought they dumbed him down.
Yeah, like I said, a bumbling idiot instead of a likable idiot. You have one of my favorite underutilized actors, they took a big dump on him. Walton Goggins.
Oh, yeah. God, yes.
He was so forgotten about, he didn't even talk about him. And then he had another villain that felt throwaway in Ghost, and wow, you have a recipe for a great movie there. And after so many Marvel movies in a row now that we just had an amazing villain. I don't like Black Panther. Killmonger, amazing villain. Infinity War, Thanos, amazing villain. Spider-Man Homecoming, don't really like it either. Vulture, amazing villain. Thor Ragnarok, hella, amazing villain. This movie, oh my god. Yeah. Overall, our problems with the movie are they focused just on the wrong aspects. I don't even know how to really put it. It's just, it's filler. It felt just like a filler movie. Like, we came off of Infinity War. And if you wanted a comic book movie that was funny after that, we got it right after that with Deadpool.
Yeah.
And with this one, you got just filler. And like he said, we'll cover a spoiler, the spoiler here in a little bit, but it really does nothing to advance the overall Marvel plot of their movies, which most of their movies at least, touch on something. This one doesn't. Overall, you have the obligatory car chase. You have just some kind of throwaway action scenes. You waste Michael Douglas. You waste Michelle Pfeiffer. You waste Walton Goggins. You dumb down Paul Rudd. And I'll just go back to what I said at the beginning. It should be called the Michael Pena Wasp movie. And with that, I put it
and as usual, we disagree on some things. This is one of those cases. I do agree on a lot of their points. They've opened my eyes to the thought of things. And the beautiful part is we don't ever discuss anything until this camera starts rolling. I thought Paul Rudd's I think he is this Marvel Universe's version of Deadpool. I think they even try. I think, well, in a way, but I think they definitely try to gear it more towards Paul Rudd. And even with this, well, I don't want to do a spoiler, but I was about to do a spoiler. But you know the scene in the school. I mean, it reminds you of the scene when Deadpool gets his arms cut off and his legs cut off. I mean, it's a straight ripoff in my opinion. But I thought the movie. Here's my argument for it being better than just complete garbage. Had this been the Antman 1 and it didn't follow a movie such as Infinity Wars and Black Panther, I thought we'd all be sitting here praising it right now. If look what it's following though. And then the other part is I do think Paul Rudd is a bumbling idiot in this movie. There's no doubt about that. My problems with the movie is I don't think there's a true villain in this movie. And also, it's not like, in these other Marvel MCU movies, there is something catastrophic coming. Like the world's going to end or millions of people are going to die. This has nothing to do with anybody outside this realm. You know what I'm saying? Like even in the first Ant-Man, he was talking about, getting the Yellow Jackets out and millions of them taking over and stuff like that. There's nothing like that in this one. It all has to do with the people in this circle. Yeah. It's not some big outside source, catastrophic, the world's going to end doomsday scenario. And I was like, well, I mean, how hardcore could you make that movie when you look at it through those eyes?
Well, I mean, I do like. I do. That is one of the best things this movie has going on. The self-contained plot. Yeah, that is a very good thing because I like things being tied in together. Maybe some name drops here and there, But this, as being a comic book fan, I like the self-contained stories more than the constant crossovers left and right. But that you can see. A lot of what's going on in comics is coming to movies and doing all the crossovers, especially in the MCU.
Yeah. What I'll say about this movie is 10 years down the line, if say you and your wife go out and rent Antman and then Antman and the Wasp, you're not going to realize that this movie is following up Infinity War. You're not going to realize that. To me, that brings it up a little bit because you have to think. Not everyone, when they see it, is going to automatically compare it to Infinity War. Yeah. Because a lot of movies you look at and you're like, okay, well, it came out right after this. You got to kind of step back from that. And that's what I had to do with this movie, is step back and just be like, okay, this is a sequel to a movie. And like they both just said, self-contained. And you're not going to have to get into the whole MCU to understand this movie. With that, turn over to Bo for closing statements. Then we'll each give our rating, and then we'll.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap this one up. This one's gonna run long. Then we're gonna go into a spoiler. We'll give you a minute or two to turn off the video. Closing statements on it. I thought the movie it's got comedy. It's funny. I mean, it is funny. I'll give it that. I thought it was refreshing to have the self-contained plot myself. I thought. They did underuse some characters, actual actors in this movie. Yeah, obviously. Who's still hot, by the way. But I enjoyed it for what it was. I kind of thought it was going to be filler material, and it was that. But Bradley's phrase, classic phrase, popcorn movie. I think it was definitely a good popcorn movie, and the whole family can watch it without having to, Deadpool it or something like that. But I like the movie overall. Bradley?
Oh, and scale from like A to F, what do you give it?
1 to 10 is where I always go on mine, and every point counts. I'd say, like a 6, 6.25, 6.5, 6.75.
Yeah.
I'd probably go, when I initially put on Facebook, I was a little high. I'd probably go about a 7.25.
Me, the pros, like I said, self-contained story. The cast, even if they underutilized a lot of them, the cast is star-studded. Like you have some of the greatest talent in Hollywood in this movie. Somebody we didn't even mention, Lawrence Fishburne.
Mm-hmm.
Lawrence Fishburne, Michelle Pfeiffer, who, like he said, for some reason, it don't matter how old she gets.
Nope.
It's still gorgeous. Michael Douglas, Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly, Walter Goggins, and yet the only people anybody even cares about in this movie are Paul Rudd and Evangeline Lilly. All the A-list, all the bigger names. Michael Pena.
Yeah, dude, he
even T.I. got like overshadowed in this movie. T.I. was halfway funny in the first movie.
Yeah, he had a few, but dude, Pena's.
The movie is definitely a standalone film, and I'm not basing it strictly that it follows Infinity War. I'm basing it on the fact that even their standalone films, Black Panther, Thor, the last Thor movie, Spider-Man, even over their team films, they've stepped the bar up in their solo films, and this one just kind of seems to have dropped it recently. Is it a good movie? Is it a fun movie? Yeah, it is. Is it something that I'm going to own? Yeah, I'm a collector. Is it something I'm going to go out of my way to watch? Probably not. I won't go out of my way to watch it again. Solid 6 out of 10 for me.
To me, movie had way more to cons than pros. Pros, like he said, star-studded cast. Very underutilized, but star-studded. Cons, everything we've named off. It's got so many. It just feels like, as he put it, just a popcorn film. And after Marvel had started stepping their game up, it just wasn't what I expected out of a Marvel movie. Maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and maybe my rating would be a lot higher than what it is now. But after so many hits in a row, we get this, and as comedic and entertaining as it is, I would put it as like a 5, and that is me probably being generous, and that is probably a lot to do with Michael Pena, because he
nailed it, bro.
He had me rolling at points.
He did, yeah.
With that, we're going to take a short pause. After this, we're going to discuss the 2 spoilers in the movie. If you want to turn it off after this, we're going to give you about 30 seconds to a minute. So now is your warning, and here we go. Okay, we're back. This is your last warning to escape spoilers, and we'll let Bo kick it off.
One major spoiler is at the end. Everybody knows. Everybody's seen that.
The stinger.
Right. I was really disappointed. There's not much for us to talk about.
Okay.
That was one of the biggest cons. Did it drop Captain Marvel anything? Nothing that I was aware of.
I think in some ways it did. I think the whole in your face, like you said when we walked out of the movie, the time vortex. Watch out for time.
The time vortex
is and then we know her movie takes place 20-something years ago in the 90s. That's a dead giveaway that time travel is going to be used. We already know it, but maybe Scott's going to show up. in Captain Marvel's movie.
I mean, it's such a unneeded line to be thrown in at that point.
I thought it was shitty the way they did it. It's just throw it in there. You know?
But what I think is the actual development that we wanted out of the movie is that one line.
Everybody wanted
It
that
was,
scene.
yeah.
And then,
In the quantum tunnel, you knew something like that had to come out of it.
yeah.
You it had to.
Everyone besides Scott turned to dust, obviously.
I think it even said in the first trailer, when they talked about the quantum realm in the first trailer, they've learned that the quantum realm can be used to travel through time. So at some point, so now we know for a fact this is more than likely how this is going to happen. The reason we've seen the set photos of Chris Evans clean shaven, blonde hair, wearing the 2012 the god awful worst Captain he's had, and we've also seen Tony looking like he did in Infinity War with gray hair in his beard, but wearing like a Shield tactical uniform.
Yeah,
and then Scott standing there, and we know Scott was nowhere around during that time.
The interesting thing is to me about all of it is how is Scott getting out of the quantum realm? Is he gonna have to dive into one of the time portals and end up maybe with Captain Marvel, or maybe?
But here's my question though. He's such an idiot. How in the hell is he going to find his way back?
Well, the movie really showed that he's an idiot, but he really isn't.
I mean, he planned one of that's why I hated the whole dumbing down of him, because it introduces, even as goofy as he is in the first movie introduces him as planning this amazing heist. He's this genius. He's
that kind of smart.
He's this genius con artist.
But he can't build that computer over there.
No, he's got a way out of a way in and out of things, though. He's a good con artist, a good thief.
And then the only other spoiler really to talk about is Lawrence Fishburne's character kind of being a bad guy, kind of not being.
And they kind of mentioned the fact that he was Goliath, or the Goliath Project.
Black Goliath, and then they do kind of a halfway villain turn with him. Not a pure villain. He just felt sorry for this kid and wanted Ghost and really wanted to help her.
Yeah.
Ghost was such a weak character in my opinion.
Yeah, just only one good scene, which is the scene right there where she's in the room, they didn't know it, and she pops up and steals. I mean, that
when you first meet her, that's probably her best scene in the entire movie. When her, Wasp, and Antman are fighting.
And I didn't think that. I was just like, I mean, yeah, it's just those are definitely cons.
And her suits actually looks really cool.
I'm starting to dislike the movie more now.
You've been around us.
Other than that, we want to know what y'all thought about the movie.
Please comment below. Thank you.
Please comment. Just tell us if we missed anything. We're all for it. We'll give you props.
I don't think we can make a long video out of this.
No, this movie isn't really one of those long videos. Yeah. So we hope you enjoy and stay tuned.
Hey guys, and wait, before you kill the video, remember to hit the subscribe button.
Absolutely.
And the 100th subscriber, we are inviting you here to the set with us. You get to choose a topic, and we'll have a discussion video all about whatever you want to be, and you'll be pretty much our guest of honor.
Yep, for the 100th subscriber. We're right around the 50 mark right now, so it won't be long.
We will wine and dine you, and by that one, we'll probably get you drunk if you drink.
There's no doubt about that.
So take it easy, and we'll be